Alright, we are now going to pick up where we left off in the previous video by attempting to reproject all the edits that we made in voxel mode onto a duplicate copy that is in surface mode. And the reason for that is because voxel brushes do not have the capacity, at least not as of this recording, to store sculpt layer information. As of now, we need to simply reproject this onto a surface mesh if we want to create sculpt layers for various stages of our sculpt. Let's go ahead and get started now. What I'm going to do is hide these text elements. I used a hotkey to switch to the transform tool here in the transform section. And I'm going to move that over, but to be very precise, what I can do is copy and paste the position information from the tool options panel here. Let's select the surface mode object here, and I will go ahead and hide the eyes for both of those. Let's choose this first position field, which is the x-axis, and that's the only one we need to move it along. So to copy that, I'll hit Control-C on my keyboard, and then I can just hit the Enter key. Next, I will select the voxel object, then click on the same x-axis position field, and then hit Control-V on the keyboard to paste it, and there we have it. Now I want to select the surface mode layer that I want to project all the details onto. If that layer is in voxel mode, you want to click on that V icon for it to switch to surface mode, which will then be indicated by the S icon. All right, so now just below the transform tool, we have the reproject tool. And in the tool options panel, we can look at the different options. I prefer nearest snapping as the mode. In my own experience, I find it to be the most reliable option. You can reproject color as well. So if we had some paint information stored on this voxel object, we could have that also projected onto our surface mesh as well. Auto ghosting is checked by default, and that's what we see here. Apart from the selected layer, 3D Coat will ghost all other objects. We can apply smoothing to the entire object by clicking Smooth All. If you need more information, you can click on Rules. Your default distance will be 10, but if there is a fair amount of surface deviation from one copy to the other, then you may want to adjust this value upward. And we can preview the inner and outer shells. The brush smoothing degree, I'll set that to 1. We can reproject globally across the entire object by clicking the Make Reprojection button, or we can use a brush to do it in a more localized fashion. So I'm going to create a new layer, then I'll double click on it in order to rename it, and then I'll choose something like SL for Sculpt Layer, Reproject. Just as an important side note, if you have a layer selected that has a low depth opacity level, or if the layer happens to be hidden, then you're not going to be able to see any changes here as you are brushing or when you click the Make Reprojection button. So I'm just going to hide that layer, and I'll select this one. Now I'm going to click Make Reprojection and give it some time to make the necessary calculation. And this is the result. Overall, it looks pretty good. We have one area here that we need to clean up a bit, but again, I'm pretty happy with the overall result. I'm going to adjust the lighting so I can see the result a little bit better. Yeah, it looks like these are the same on each side, so I can turn symmetry on. I'm using the radial menu from the 3D connection device, but you can also hit the S key to bring up the symmetry panel. Let's now go to the top of the UI in the Shift key list menu or Control-Shift menu and pick from this menu the smoothing type that I want. So when I hold the Shift key, I am applying this effect. Okay, so I'm going to choose Relax because it's a very low-grade smoothing effect. It's really good for fixing any kind of problems, but we can also choose tangent smoothing. It's probably the most subtle smoothing effect. So if you see spikes, you can usually just use tangent smoothing and it will not degrade the details that you have. Let's hold the Shift key while brushing, and I will speed up the playback momentarily. Now, if I want, I can step out temporarily, fix this, and come back to the Reproject tool. I think I'll do that now. I'm going to go to Smooth, and I'll choose Relax Standard. Next, I will hide the voxel object so I can see the surface mesh more clearly. And hit the W key to toggle wireframe on and off. So, with Relax Standard chosen, I'm just going to go along and brush some of the trouble spots. So what I'll do is I'll touch up these spots and we will reproject again. I can shift, click, and drag in the viewport outside the object in order to rotate my HDRI map, which is lighting the scene. At this point, I'm just looking for any other additional trouble spots. I think this will suffice for now, so let's go back to the Reproject tool, and I will unhide the voxel object. Now I can use my brush, or I can just hit the Make Reprojection button again. But I'll go ahead and demonstrate the brush, so let's go ahead and do that. Okay, I think we are now done with the reprojection. We can hide the voxel object and inspect the results. The results of the voxel sculpting edits have been stored on the Sculpt layer, so if I hide it, I can see the original state of the mesh. Now let's unhide the Sculpt layer again. Okay, so I'm going to step out of the Reproject tool by selecting anything else. In this case, I'll just choose something like the Move tool. If we choose, we can actually blend between the previous state and the current state by adjusting the depth opacity level here on this Sculpt layer. All right, we'll stop the video here, but in the next one, we are going to demonstrate voxel paint in conjunction with Vox Hide, and I think you'll find that to be very interesting because this is something no other sculpting application in the industry offers. So I hope you found this video helpful. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.